Before we dive in, here's another show you can enjoy in the True Story FM family of entertainment podcasts.
Oh, there you are. I was hoping I'd cross paths with you today. I'd like to invite you to visit the Story Well. It's a place where storytellers of all stripes gather. From improv performers to authors, screenwriters to playwrights, we all tell stories. But we're not here to talk about craft. We're here to make something out of nothing. Each episode of the podcast, your host, that's me, sits down with a creative person, and based on a series of random prompts, we get elements that we make into a story. Will it be a noir novel about King Kong? Or a Broadway musical about JFK? Even we don't know. That's the fun part. But what do you get out of this, besides a good time with fun people? Simple. The idea is then yours. That's right. Whatever we come up with, we give it away for anyone to use however they'd like, no strings attached. It's like each episode comes with a free prize inside. The Story Well with Kyle Olson. We'll save you a seat at the table.
Hey, movie lovers, I'm Pete Wright.
And I'm Andy Nelson. We are the hosts of the Next Reel Film Podcast.
If you're passionate about films like we are, you'll love our show. Each week, we dive deep into a movie, discussing everything from the story and performances to the cinematography and score.
Not to mention budgets and awards. We have covered iconic series like Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather trilogy, examining themes of power, family, and the dark side of the American dream.
We've explored the works of groundbreaking directors like Catherine Bigelow, discussing her mastery of tension.
We've looked at heist films, great car chases, great years in film, couples on the run, and more.
Our discussions go beyond the surface, examining what makes each film tick. We believe that when the movie ends, the conversation begins.
And we'd love for you to join that conversation. Find the Next Reel Film Podcast on your favorite podcast app or at thenextreel.com.
The Next Reel. When the movie ends,
our conversation begins.
Hello and welcome to Gank That Drink. Ooh, mine splashed all around.
Yours was all fizzy at the end. Yeah, I could hear that. I'm gonna pour mine. Get a little extra ASMR in today's.
Ooh, delightful. It's a supernatural drinking game podcast. It's the podcast where we make up drinking game rules for a favorite episode of our favorite show, Supernatural. And then we recap the episode for you. We tell you how the drinking game rules played out. And then we tell you what's coming up next.
Boom, that's the gist of it. I just took a mighty swig of my
I'm going to take a mighty swig. And you're having something fancy tonight. Tell everybody what you're having.
I am having a Pueblo Vienna lager from Fate Brewing, located in now multiple places in the Valley of the Sun in Arizona, originally from Scottsdale. And I'm just going to introduce myself, Krissy. I know I just introduced you. I'm Nate McWhortor, performer and teacher at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. And I know I already said your name, but who am I talking to?
Krissy Lenz, one of the directors at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. And happy to be here for another weird episode of our favorite show, Supernatural.
Yay! Not weird. This is a classic. You chose a vintage.
This is vintage from season 9.
If I knew wine better, I would say like a Napa.
It's like a buttery Cabernet.
Yeah, it's like classic. It's something you can get anywhere, but not anywhere in the Supernatural universe.
Yeah,
I love it. I love this episode. Abby and I watched it the other night, and we both enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit gross.
It's a lot of bit gross at a lot of times.
Yeah, it's a gross one. All right, so what episode are we talking about?
Yeah. Oh.
Season 9, episode 13, The Purge.
The Purge.
What are the rules we're playing? Of course, take a drink anytime someone says family. Take a drink anytime fat gets sucked. Take a drink for Donna-isms. Anytime Donna is saying or doing something that's just so, why don't ya? Take a drink if Sam snoops. Take a drink for a pop culture reference. Take a drink if someone says suction. Take a drink if someone says cupping. Take a drink for pudding. Take a drink if someone dies. And then take a drink for a BM scene, a boy melodrama scene. Okay, are we ready?
Oh, I'm ready, Krissy.
Then something's broken between the Winchester boys. Dean says, "We're family." Take a drink. ×2. And then Sammy says, "That's what's wrong, Dean." Duh. Bum, 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 bum. Now we're at an eating contest. A big guy wins against a skinny guy, but he cheated by putting a hot dog in his pocket, which I feel like would have been really obvious and easy to catch.
Right. Maybe he's also a magician, does sleight of hand.
Yeah. To put a whole hot dog in his pocket. Suddenly he's in his car, gloating and eating his stolen hot dog, and all of his fat gets sucked out. Take a drink. We get the title card, Supernatural. All right, so now we're back at the bunker. Dean is doing research. Sammy comes in for coffee. Dean is like, "I found us a case in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Guy went from 300 pounds to 90 pounds overnight." Sammy's like, "Let's go." And Dean says, "Well, I guess it's a whore's bath for me. I'll be ready in 5. And I just, like, that's the first gross thing. It's like, ew. Ew, Dean. We can wait. Take a real shower.
Right? What's the rush? What is the rush?
What is the rush? And then we have a little BM scene. Are you sure you're take a drink? Are you sure you're okay? Because I was just being honest. And Dean's like, "Yeah, you made that perfectly clear. Bum, bum, bum. There's drama between the boys."
It was real sassy. Real catty.
Real catty and sassy. Well, he's been up all night. And he's not even going to get a real shower. And then we have to presume he's going to drive to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Stillwater, Oklahoma.
I'm going to be going close to Stillwater, Oklahoma in a couple days.
Well, be very careful that no one tries to suction you.
I will be. I'm actually going to Kansas, too. So I will be traipsing around the homeland of our boys.
You're going to be in Winchester territory. Deep
I will
Winchester
be in
territory.
Winchester territory, yes.
All right, so we cut to Donna's precinct. Donna is helping the boys. She says the victims suffered massive organ damage. And Donna lets them know he had a rivalry. You betcha. Wackadoo. Take a drink.
This is Donna. This is Donna's first ep.
This is our introduction to Donna.
Intro to Donna.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just, this is Donna. This is our first time meeting Donna. We don't even know yet that this is going to be a beloved side character.
Much beloved, played by the unstoppable Brianna Buckmaster.
And she's awesome. I love it.
She is awesome. She is just a delight.
Yeah. And in this episode in particular, it's such a, just great, like I said, who would have, they do obviously with Jody Mills too, but like, I love that it's like, they just pop so good with the boys and off the screen and they're so fun and bubbly, like in their own special ways, each of them, but like, let's make them part of the gang. And
let's make them part of the gang. Let's get some wayward sisters up in here.
Heck yeah.
So there was a rivalry between these two competitor eaters. Competitive eating is a big deal in their community. People eat butter, deep fried butter, shrimp, chicken wings, hot dogs, you name it. There's an eating contest for it. And Wayne, who is dead, is the only one that Slim Jim couldn't beat. So we go investigate at Slim Jim's house. He's eating lettuce as a way to expand his stomach. And he's like, Wayne was a cheat, yeah. His Slim Jim's girlfriend is a Romanitzi, a gypsy. They say gypsy a lot, which is not a word that you are supposed to say anymore. But she's a Romany traveler, we'll say instead. But there's a lot of pop culture references. Take a drink. Sammy snoops, take another drink, and he finds a hex bag by the bed. Oh, what's this? At the hotel, they're examining the hex bag, and there's a knock at the door. Mala, the Romany traveling girlfriend, comes to get it back, and she says that the bag was a blessing. She was having an affair with Wayne. They were going to run off with the $1,000 prize money. That's all they needed was $1,000.
It's just a grand short, baby.
Yep, of running off with this big guy and leaving her Slim Jim husband behind. Oh, it's sad.
And the like the just interaction between her and Dean on the why would you leave him for him? And it's just more cushion.
Sometimes you want to feel a little give. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they wrote that very, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Funnily, I don't know. It's
very funny. Yeah, it's a funny episode.
Yeah.
So we cut to a gym where a woman is working out with like her wedding inspo in front of her. So she's like on a bike and she's biking, looking at a wedding magazine, and she is listening to her music, and she's unhappy. She has actually gained weight.
This might be one of the top 5 like saddest supernatural scenes of all time. Like just like most heart, like more like cuts to the core of how we've all felt that. I gained weight. How?
No,
and just like you
so
feel
hard.
so, her wedding's coming up. She's got the magazine. Yeah, this one, I don't know, whatever reason, this little tableau, this vignette, this one person death is, I think, one of the sadder, like, I guess, no name deaths we ever see in Supernatural, I think. I don't know. I always feel that way. Every time I watch this episode, I feel that way.
Yep. So she does get knocked over and her fat gets all sucked out and she dies. Take a drink.
She lost weight.
Later, she did. Sam and Dean are investigating, and they learn that Donna is out for the week. Mysterious. They find a weird mark on her back, and they say the word suction 3 times, so take 3 drinks. They find out that Carol was alone in the gym because the girl who was supposed to close up let her stay late in order to get a few extra minutes working out. And she slipped her the key and told her to lock up after herself. Well, they find on this young girl a weird suction mark that matches the one that both of the victims have.
Bum, bum, bum.
And she admits that she had recently lost weight at a place called Canyon Valley Spa. Back at the motel, they're investigating. They watch a commercial for Canyon Valley, and they decide to go to Canyon Valley. They apply as trainers. This is a hilarious scene. Dean is super awkward. He's like, we're like Hans and Franz, except less German.
Oh, yeah, pop culture reference.
Pop culture reference. Take a drink. The hot guy brags that his wife saved him and helped him lose weight. And so they say, we only have one option for a trainer, but how about we put you somewhere else, Dean? So next up, Dean is like, nice shorts, Sammy. And he's like, nice hairnets, Dean. Dean is working at the lunch bar, and Sammy is teaching yoga. He runs into Donna, who's there getting treatments. Or, well, he hasn't run into her yet. We just see Donna is there getting treatments. She's getting cupping, and they say cupping and suction back to back. So take 2 drinks. She falls asleep, and the Peruvian wife, her eyes roll back in her head. She whips out a gross suctioning tongue thing and sucks fat out of Donna. Yuck.
Oh, yeah.
It's super gross.
It's super gross. Prosthetics, the all the makeup and everything looks, I mean, good job making it look gross. It looks like realistic enough. I think it's a cool little I don't know. I like this bad guy, Peruvian fat sucker. I like also the obviously a pistaco. Yes. What it presents to our boys in the end, as far as the dilemma of like, can monsters exist if they're not harming people? And like, God, what a country to move to if you're one of those things. Like, that's, I guess,
you could just come out and say it. I'm gonna suck your fat out and feast on it.
Right.
And people would still be lining up out the door.
Gosh dang right. Forget Ozempic. I'm going pistaco.
Yep. At least then it's mutual respect.
Right.
You get a meal, I get my fat sucked.
I can fit into my old dress. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you can get ready for your wedding.
Right. That, to me, I'd sign up. I would go to Canyon Valley. It just...
Even knowing that you were going to get fat sucked by a pistaco?
Yeah, but if they only sucked a little like they do for most of the people, just don't suck out. Just don't kill me.
Yeah.
It's... Obviously, we'll get into who's doing the killing, but...
Maritza is the pistaco, and she is played by Annabelle Acosta. Doing a great job.
Agreed.
All right, so Dean is in the kitchen with a surly, sarcastic guy, Alonzo, who's sort of bossing him around and is really just surly and unkind. Dean has to scoop pudding. Take a drink. Dean loves his pudding, and he sneaks a little for himself. Meanwhile, Sammy is in a yoga class, and as he's teaching, he sees that everybody has these suction marks.
Do downward dog and hold it for 5. What did you say?
5 minutes, he says. 5 minutes. And they're like, damn, usually it's 30 seconds. And he's like, 30 seconds. I'm at 30 seconds. Some yoga teachers will make you hold a pose for that long, though.
No, not. Oh, that's so funny. I loved it, though. They're like, what? Record scratch. It was good.
We cut back to Dean eating the pudding, take a drink. He's in the storage room, and he is drugged. He is in Delulu Town. He has lost his touch with reality. He calls... Wait, not yet. At this point, Sammy runs into Donna in a wheelchair. She's loopy, and she's like, Agent Freely, what are you doing here? And everyone's like, bum, bum, bum. What was she talking about? She's out of it. She's loopy. She's delirious from her cupping session. By the way, the cupping looked just as gross as the pistaco sucking.
Honestly, I thought, okay, here's what I thought was going to happen, even after having already seen it. I forgot that they just then like suck on their own spot. I thought that somehow they would like take the bulb that the cupping was making and like slicing it and then putting it into a thing and then eating it. Would that be more gross or less gross?
It would be more gross, I think, because somehow they're getting storage of fat. Somehow they're like storing the fat in a fridge.
Is that what they're doing? I don't know. Is that what they're doing with the cupping? Is then they're getting the fat out from that and then...
No, I think they're just getting the fat out from the suctioning marks.
And then what? Putting it in, spitting it out? They're baby birding it? Or I don't know. Yeah. There's fat
yeah, we never clear that up.
No, they don't. They don't really get into the minutia of the operation of Canyon Valley. I really wish...
I bet she is baby birding it, though.
She just like spitting it back into the thing.
And feeding it. Yeah.
The vats of fat. Oh, look.
Gross. So gross. They're so chunky and wet.
Oh.
Ugh. Okay. All right. So Dean calls Sammy and says he's drugged. He's been roofied. Sweet potatoes, he says.
Sweet potatoes.
Sammy snoops again. Take a drink. Sammy finds Dean drugged by the pudding. Take a drink. Sammy attacks the chef, who says that the pudding is filled with supplements, but they're roofies. They say suction. Take a drink.
How do you know what roofies looks like? How do you not?
Yeah. He doesn't want to wake up in a bathtub with his kidney
my
missing.
kidney's missing. Yeah.
They meet with Donna. She's lost 10 pounds. There's lots of Donna-isms in this scene, so take a drink. Donna reveals that her husband, Doug, left her for her weight and was really unkind to her. He said she loved chocolate chip milkshakes more than she loved him. Oh, that's really dark. But they say suction and cumping, so take a drink.
We never meet Doug 1, but, right? Or do we? No, we do end up meeting Doug 1 at some point.
No.
We don't. We just meet
Doug
new
2.
Doug in the clown-ish one.
In Plush.
Plush, yes. But we never meet Doug. I swear there's an episode where you do meet Doug 1, and you're like, yeah, that guy sucks.
I don't know it off the top of my head.
All right, I'm gonna do a little more research, and I'll get back to you.
Okay. So the husband of the couple at Canyon Valley steals his wife away briskly. He knows that Sam and Dean are hunters. He finds their cache of IDs, and he's like, we need to get rid of the evidence. Bum, bum, bum. What does he mean? Sammy snoops around the spa. Take a drink.
Snooping.
The wife is suddenly throwing out the fat. This is where we see the gross little containers of fat. She stops to hoover some up with her pistachio tongue, and Dean gets a drop on her. He says, I'm no health nut, but that's just wrong. And he ties her up. Tuck, he says. I'm not a killer, she says. I'm a pistachio, a fat sucker, a Peruvian fat sucker. This is why we started Canyon Valley. It was a win-win. And it wasn't her who killed all those people. It was her brother, Alonzo, the surly guy from the kitchen. What? Bum, bum, bum.
Wow.
The husband confronts Alonzo. Either you leave or I'll make you leave, which is a dumb move. Alonzo just kills him.
Right. Yeah, why would you? Yeah, he's not a smart man.
Not a smart man. Take a drink. He is dead. The wife explains to Dean that her brother won't eat enough. He doesn't want to live by their philosophy of only eating enough to get by. He's not a fan of portion control, Dean says. And the more he was deprived, the hungrier and hungrier he got. Now people are dead, and Alonzo just stays in the basement all day. So the boys go to hunt Alonzo. They find that he has killed the chef. Take a drink. They're hunting for a long time in the dark basement with just flashlights. Alonzo attacks Sam. He tells him, your sister ratted you out. What?
Flashlights, which earlier in the scene when Sam is going to find Dean when he's all drugged, they like very prominently show on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because it's I love that they do go grab them, because I said to Abby, I'm like, oh, now they choose to use lights to look around a dark room. Normally they just go into dark rooms and start looking around, like very X-Files. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
When they decide.
Yeah, this time they were like, we need those flashlights right here. Let's use them.
But they definitely show them earlier in the episode, because they're like bright green. They're not like two black flashlights. They're just like bright green hanging on the wall. I just think I thought it was interesting.
They have a very emergency flare vibe.
Yeah.
So Sam is tussling with the male pistachio, Alonzo. They're fighting. The sucker comes out. Bada boom. Dean's there in a flash. Sweep swipe. He cuts off the fat sucker, and apparently that just makes Alonzo die.
Yeah.
So Alonzo is dead. Take a drink.
I think it had to be with a silver knife. Does it seem like the
boys
both
I think
had
so
silver
too.
knives? Yeah.
So the cops in the corner are all at the spa. Sam has a BM scene with the wife. She lost her whole family today. Take a drink. They say family twice. Take 2 drinks. Dean wants to kill Maritza. because she's still a fat sucker, even though she's not a murderer. She's still a type of monster, I guess, a supernatural being, if you will. And Dean's like, how about let's not kill her? So Dean agrees to let her go back to Peru.
I mean, Sam says, let's not kill her.
Yeah. Did I say Dean twice?
You did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Dean is not having a conversation with himself. Sam is the one who's like, let's not kill her.
Yes. Dean is not talking to himself in this episode.
Nope. Sammy's the one who, like always, is like, this monster doesn't need to die. Let's just let her go back to Peru. So we're back at the bunker and Dean is drinking. They have a little BM scene, take a drink. And Dean is like, I saved your hide. I do what I do because it's the right thing and I do it again. And Sammy's like, you think it's worth it to save me, but what's the upside of me being alive? And Dean's like, you and me fighting the good fight together. And Sam's like, you didn't do it for me. You did it for you. You did it because you don't want to be alone. And Dean is like, the roles were reversed. You would have saved me too. And Sam says, no, I wouldn't have. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. Harsh. Harsh, Sammy. Harsh. My goodness. And that is the Purge.
To update you, Donna's husband does appear in the next episode that she is in.
Oh, okay.
In season 10, it's with Jody Mills and I think it's like vampires and stuff with the boys and
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good
but
catch.
You meet her ex-husband Doug, who treated her horribly. Because I remember
he's bad. We don't like Doug.
Yeah, he sucks. So that is actually before we get to Plush. That is the episode. But I love this episode, Krissy. I love the Purge. I love Donna. I love the idea of Canyon Valley, a fish taco, which now I'm hungry for a fish taco myself.
Yeah, fish taco.
But maybe a lean fish, not a fatty fish. Yeah. And it was a great game. How'd the rules play out?
All right. How many times did you count them saying the word
Is
family?
Sophie audible right now? Is Sophie audible?
No, I can't hear her.
Okay, cool. Because she is purring, and I can hear her in my headphones.
Oh.
So, okay.
No, I can't hear her. That would be delightful, though. I would love to add that to the podcast.
All right. Let's start the rules over again. Sorry.
Okay.
Krissy, how did the rules play out? Oh, let's talk on each other again. All right, you go. You just go. You go.
Okay. How many times did you count them saying the word family?
I counted 4 times.
I got 4 too.
Yay.
We did it. Yay. Fat gets sucked 3 times.
I got 3.
Okay. How many Donna-isms did you count?
Counted 5.
Oh, I only counted 3.
Oh.
But I was just counting scenes with Donna-isms, not necessarily individual Donna-isms.
Gotcha.
Sammy snoops 3 times.
That's what I got.
How many pop culture references did you get?
I only got 2, but I think I just forgot to play it most of the time.
Okay, I got 5.
Yeah. I afterwards, Abby was like, pop culture references, and I was like, shoot. I think I forgot that was a rule. So we try to like think of ones that we heard. So yeah. Suction and cupping.
Suction got said 7 times.
Okay, I got 5.
Cupping got said 4 times.
I got 5 cupping. Interesting.
Ooh, we swapped off getting different answers. I counted 3 instances of pudding.
Yeah, I think we only counted 2. I don't know why 2, but there were 3.
Okay. 4 people die.
4 someone's died.
Yep. And I counted 3 BM scenes.
We also have 3 BM scenes. Woo-woo!
Yay! We did it.
All right.
Awesome. Excellent. Okay, so now is the time in our show where we talk about what is next. What's next? What's next?
Krissy, we are back on the Chuck wagon.
Chuck wagon, ho!
Yeah, it's rolling along. We're going back to season 5, episode 4.
Season 5, episode 4. What's it called?
The end.
The end.
It's called The End. This actually is I think a memorable episode. As far as
I don't remember it offhand.
No, it's not a memorable title, but once you start it up, you'll be like, ah, yes. Okay. Here we go. Taking a drink when someone drinks.
Okay.
We're drinking along this episode. We're drinking along. Boy melodrama scene, of course.
Okay.
We're playing Gank as always.
Love that rule.
Because we're on the Chuck wagon, whenever you see Chuck, we're taking a drink. Just Chuck.
Okay.
Deanception. So, I know I just made the joke about Dean talking to himself, but this is actually going to happen in this episode.
Okay.
He's going to talk to himself. Anytime someone says a year.
Okay.
Anytime the Croats die, and actually, if you want to play expert level this week, take a sip every time they say the word Croats.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a sip for every time they say Croats. And then we have Zack Attack. Anytime Zachariah pops up.
Okay.
Taking a drink. And then our shot is just sexy Satan Sam.
Sexy Satan Sam.
Yeah.
Sexy Satan Sam shot.
Yeah. I mean, it really is a good episode. It's a very, I mean, for it being early on in a season like it is and everything, it feels almost kind of like it should be the second to last or finale of the season. I think.
Not episode 5.
Except for how it ends. I guess like because it ends the way it does, that's not how it feels. But like the rest of the episode kind of feels that way, or it feels like it should be towards the end of the season, not at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I think what I really, really like about it. And yeah, there's all sorts of fun. I think there's a lot of fun Chuck conversation to be had with this episode as well. So yeah.
Okay.
Excited
I can't
to talk about it.
We have to record it next week because we're behind.
Yay! Okay, we'll do.
Okay. All right. So thank you for listening. Nate, why don't you tell the people where they can find us for a comedy show?
If you're looking for a fun, spontaneous, improvised comedy show, come on down to the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. You can find all the ticket details at nctphoenix.com. And it is a super good, awesome, fun time. We just did a show with my dad. He was a guest, and it was great.
He was great. Yes, it was a really fun episode. He told stories, and we did improv based on those stories. A good time was had by all. Don't miss out on any of the shows. And if you're still listening this deep into the podcast, man, you want more. You want more Nate and Krissy. You want to know more about us. You want to hear more of our thoughts. You want to be a member. You want to go to True Story FM and find our podcast amongst the plethora of podcasts that they host there. Find Gank That Drank, select it, and click Become a Member. It's just $5 a month or $55 for the whole year. And you get our episodes a week early. You get them without any ads of any kind. And you get some extra bonus content at the end of each episode. So don't sleep on it. Become a member today. And when you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things, you know the family business. Please keep the Gank That Drank motto in mind. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. What's up, Supernatural superfans?
It's Nate and Krissy, your hosts of
Gang That Drink, the Supernatural Drinking Game Podcast.
It's the podcast where we make up drinking game rules for a favorite episode of our favorite show, Supernatural.
We recap the episode for you and let you know how all the rules played out.
Then we let you know the drinking game rules for the next episode, so you can play along.
But we want to talk to you today about becoming an exclusive member of Gank That Drank, a Supernatural drinking game podcast.
Becoming a member is just $5 a month. It's easy to do, and it helps keep the podcast going, bringing you more fresh drink to gank. Or gank to drink, whatever.
One of those two. Plus, members get every episode early and ad-free.
With some extra bonus content at the end of each episode as a member exclusive.
We play games, we talk trivia, we chat about what we were watching besides Supernatural.
We talk about our lessons learned from each episode, and sometimes give you a geographical zoom in on the towns or areas the episodes take place in.
We have fun! Ha 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 ha. And we gank those drinks, and we want you to be a part of it.
So join us and become a member at truestory.fm/gankthatdrink.
And when you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things,
you know, the family business.
Keep the Gank That Drank motto in mind. Be excellent to each other and party on, dude.